Well, brush art was actually very inspirational to me. I think that was one of the first times I really thought that moving back here and living in a rural area, you could be just as successful as anywhere else in the country. And that was a little bit of a revelation for me. I grew up in Glen Elder, which is very small and rural, and my dad farms, my mom teaches school, and I think she always asked, you know, wouldn't you love to move back? Well, sure, but what would I do if I moved back? You know, I think my experience had been people work at the grocery store or something, and I had a degree from a college, and so I had a marketing and business degree, and well, sure, but what would I do? Then I got the interview with Brush Art and got that job there, and they are very, very successful and very competitive with nationwide companies. I mean, companies out of New York State, companies out of California, right out of Downs, Kansas, and that is very impressive, and it's actually a advantage for them to be out of Downs because they don't have as much overhead, and they're able to be competitive in their pricing because of that, and they can offer just as good of quality of work. So that was really a revelation for me that you can be successful anywhere, and they do all of their work over the computer and by phone. They do have people who travel, but we did all of the communication with clients over the computer. So you can, I think that's really changed in the last 10, 15 years even. The amount of work you can do from a rural area has changed, and that's really cool, and it's really been impactful to the advertising industry, marketing industry. So that's how I got started in marketing per se. I also had that marketing degree, so I had an interest in marketing, but they really changed my view on how to do it in a rural area. When I had one of my son, I wanted something a little more flexible, and they offered to let me do their internet marketing if I went freelance. So I did brush art internet marketing for quite a while in 2008 and 2009 for them, and then I started in on some of my own projects and took off from there. So started out of my house in 2008, and now we work out of an office here in Courtland since 2011, so it's kind of grown. I did traditional marketing with brush art, and then I branched down into the internet marketing. Now it's kind of interesting. It's kind of come full circle. I did a lot more internet marketing, and now we do marketing projects, traditional and all kinds of marketing projects, including internet marketing. We also market for, do a lot of economic development, rural development work, which people think that's really not marketing, but it's very diverse, but we like it that way, and it is all related to marketing in some way. It's more marketing for communities, so it's different than building a website or creating a social media presence or doing public relations work, but it still has a lot of the same ties in. Well, we are very diverse. We have our rural development clients, so we do economic development for Republic County, Jewell County, and for Clyde, Kansas. So those clients we actually go see on a regular basis. But we also have clients that we get from freelance work sites, so they're nationwide clients, and sometimes they're international clients. The other day I was talking with a programmer for a website. He was out of Malaysia, and that was very, that's amazing. When I worked at Brush Art, there was one of our web designers went to Puerto Rico, and I was talking to him in real time, like he was sitting right next to me. And the same thing with this guy from Malaysia. He solved my problems, and he besides the broken English, is like talking to somebody in the next office. So that's really cool, that internet, and having that internet ability out here in a rural area, you can do that kind of stuff, and that's important to how the business runs. But with those clients that we get from the internet, we Skype a lot with them, we email back and forth a lot, and then we communicate off of the freelance websites. So that's how we get those clients and how we communicate with them. Yeah, social media wise, it tends to change a lot more quickly. Computer wise, we use a lot of the same technology, but I know we feel like we need to always keep up with the social media because there's something always changing. Facebook's now going out, and a lot of the young kids like Twitter, and and there's all kinds of different things coming in all the time. So we try to keep abreast of that and keep up with that, but that's always changing and constantly. presentation-wise even. I mean, it used to be that PowerPoint was the main staple, and now it's Prezi and all these different things. So yeah, it's completely always changing, and something to keep up with all the time. I've heard of a lot of people, maybe even in the last 5 years, I think it's really taken off. People who have worked with a company and now work out of their home most of the days of the week and have to fly in every once in a while. I'm seeing a big trend toward that, and I think that's going to be really important for our rural areas to be able to, because we have that internet technology out here, being able to promote that to people. You know, if you can telecommute, you can work from anywhere, why not work from here? Work from a peaceful environment and not have to be in the big city. Before, I think it was a necessity to live in a big city to do those kind of jobs, to be at a big corporation, and now it's not. So not only that, but to start your own business, there's a lot of internet-based businesses that can be done, you know, from your home or from a rural area. And we see that as an important trend for the reversal of population loss, to gain more people back. And I think a lot of people desire that. We have a friend who lives in Kansas City. He just absolutely does not like it, but his wife is from Kansas City. And I think that's one of those things that would really appeal to him, would be to be able to have a successful career with a successful company, but be more where you want to be. I think they definitely would be. I don't know if I've ever specifically had that conversation with them, but you're right, we didn't have to change the city name to Google to get those things, and we're very, very lucky. And I don't think very many people, maybe who live here, realize how amazing that is. But when you have a business like ours, we definitely do realize what an advantage that is to have. But yeah, I think that's the other thing. You're kind of anonymous behind your computer. I don't think people even realize, you know, we're sitting here in Courtland, Kansas, population 300 people, and you know, they don't know the difference when they're sitting at their office in California, that the product we're turning out is what they expect. They don't know where we're at, and so that's actually kind of cool too. I mean, not that we're very proud of where we're at, but it just goes to show you, you're competitive wherever you are. You can be, it depends on your outlook and what you feel, and if you feel, you know, excited about being here and think that you can do anything, you can. I think our goal is to just keep growing and to grow as much as we can and add as much work as there is. And we love it that we're able to support the rural economy and have the opportunity to foster bringing new people back and younger people back. I think that many people are looking for these type of opportunities where they can use a college degree and use that back in a rural area. I don't think that there are as many opportunities like this as I would love for them to be. Even if it is people think, oh, if another website development company comes in, that's competition. Well, you're in competition with internationally. We compete for jobs with people from India and China and all these other developers. And so somebody else in Courtland, Kansas, yes, that's competition, but that's awesome camaraderie too, having that kind of a community that has similar work situations. And I think that can only make you stronger and provide even more opportunities for people to be able to come back and see a rural area as something that's an advantage and something that's very cool to come back to.